Hello guys, and welcome back to a new video. If you're new here, my name is Julia and thank you so much for clicking on this video. So if you've already seen the title, today is going to be my pull day explained. I've done a leg day version where I'll link up here where I've took you through my leg day and explained to you every exercise that I do, why I do it, and all the good stuff. So I thought I would do a pull day version. Before I get into it, I thought I would clarify what push and pull means. I think I've explained this before, but pretty much upper body days are often split into push and pull. So if you think about it, push would be any exercise or any muscle group that requires you to push the weight away from your body. So if you think about that, that would include your chest, because for chest press, you're pushing the bar away or the dumbbells away from you. It would include shoulders as well as tricep. That's what push day is. I will film one as well for push day, but right now, today is pull day, so that would include then back and the biceps. So I actually asked you guys over on Instagram, which I'll link here. If you don't follow me, make sure you guys go follow me there. And I put up a poll asking which one you guys want to see, and this one was the highly requested one. Also, before I get started, I thought I would just quickly explain to you how I'm splitting up my workouts right now. For the past few weeks, I've been going 4 times a week, which is one down than I'm used to. I usually go 5, but it's kind of what's working with my schedule. It's what's working best with me. So I'm doing 2 legs, 1 quad, and 1 glutes and hamstring. And then I'm doing a push and a pull. And I will actually film an updated week of workouts showing you my 4 workouts a week. So stay tuned for that and make sure you guys press the subscribe button so you don't miss that one. First and foremost, I thought I would explain to you guys what has changed in my workout routine. The biggest thing that has changed is I started incorporating creatine, which is a supplement. It is the safest, most studied, most effective supplement that is really out on the market. So if there is one that you are kind of debating on taking, I would highly recommend creatine. The benefits of creatine is it helps increase your performance, but the biggest thing is it helps you build muscle. So if you are eating the right food, you're working out, implementing the correct progressive overload and all of that good stuff, then creatine is going to really work in your favor to build muscle, which is a big goal of mine this year. One thing to watch out for is creatine obviously does increase your overall weight because you are putting on lean tissue or muscle. But if you are, trying to lose weight, you just want to be a bit more careful, be a lot more strategic in how you take creatine to make sure that you're not putting on excess fat as well. Sorry for interrupting the video, but I do want to mention, before you take any supplements, make sure you're doing your own research. Know what works for you. Just because I take it and it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Also, if you do have any underlying issues, make sure you talk to a healthcare professional before taking this, because it is a supplement and it may not work in your favor. So just with everything on the internet, do your own research before you take it. And I'm not trying to say you guys should take creatine or anything like that. Back to the video. So that is what I've been incorporating. I've been taking it for about a week and a half. I started with a week of taking a loading dose, which is about double your normal maintenance dose. Now I'm just taking my 1 scoop a day, which is about 5 grams every single day, and you take it for about 4 to 6 weeks, and you want to make sure you're cycling. I think that's about it. In terms of other supplements, if you guys want a full supplement video, what I take, what I recommend, leave it in the comments below and I will definitely film that for you. But let's get into the video. If you see me looking over here, it's because I am looking at the edit that I've made for this clip so that I can really give you guys a thorough voiceover for the workout. Let's get started with the first part of my workout, which is always a warm-up. So I will always take about 5 to 10 minutes to do a warm-up, mainly because it is still pretty chilly outside. I am walking to the gym very out of it, cold, and it does take me a bit of time to snap into that workout mentality. What I did here, I started with an incline walk. That's my favorite way of doing cardio, or favorite machine. It's accessible, it's everywhere, but you can do any cardio choice that you want. So I do about 5 to 10 minutes of that, depending on how long it takes for my muscles to warm up. So you see here I'm doing an incline of about 10 to 12 at a speed of 3.5, depending on how quick I want to warm up. Then I move into dynamic stretches. Probably wondering, why am I doing lower body stretches? It's because I am going to deadlift on my back day, so I still want to make sure I'm warming up my glutes, my hamstrings, my hip flexors, my ankles, all of that stuff. So I started with my leg swings, then I moved into these knee hugs where I'm also turning my ankles just to get those ankles warmed up, and then I'm doing these hamstring toe reaches, whatever they're called. So again, I do about 20 to 30 each side. Then I'm moving into a deep squat, really using my elbows to push out my knee so I feel that stretch in my hip flexors. And then I'm going into a deep squat to deep hamstring stretch. So I'm just holding my shoe and straightening my knees. I'm doing these banded shoulder dislocates to warm up my shoulders. This is where I'm getting into more of my upper body warm up. So I do about 10 full circles, and then I'm doing these banded lat pulls behind the head. Also a great way to warm up the lats. I will always do this before I do any deadlift or any back exercise so I can really activate those lat muscles and get them awake so I feel them better and I can use them better. Then I started with these bent over dumbbell rows. So I'm using both hands here. Notice how I am hinging at the hips to get into that bent over form. I'm squeezing the dumbbells at the top, slowly lowering it and bringing it up. I'm using a little bit of momentum here because the dumbbells were quite heavy, but I would recommend you to try to keep that core strong and less swinging and really more driving up at the elbows. The reason why I did double arm versus single arm bent over row is just a bit more of a challenge. I usually always do single arm bent over rows, but today I just want to switch things up. I wasn't going to do a barbell row, so this is why instead I decided to do double arm. The biggest thing with a bent over row and one of the hardest challenges with it is that you start to get very tired in your lower back as you hold that bent over position. If you find that that is a big challenge for you, then I would say after a few reps when you're like, oh, I can do more but my lower back is killing me, just stand up, let the tension kind of ease off your lower back and get back into that normal hip hinge stance. Also, another key important part of getting into that bent over form is that you are hinging your hips. So you're not just dropping your chest forward and rowing. You want to start standing up, pretend you're doing an RDL with the dumbbells, hinge the hip back until you feel a stretch in your hamstring, and then you're gonna row from there. You wanna try to keep all the tension in your hamstring, not letting it sit in your lower back. Moving on to lat pull down, I did 4 sets of 8. With this one, make sure you are leaning back, dropping your shoulders down and squeezing your lats. Think about bringing your elbows to your side. That's how you're gonna really squeeze. Then I moved into a superset. So to really kill out my biceps, I did 10 hammer curls. Hammer curls are a little bit different than normal bicep curls because your palms are facing in. You still want to keep that elbow tucked to your side and you're just bringing the dumbbells up and down. Notice how at the bottom I'm straightening my arms all the way to the point where you kind of see my triceps activated. You want to do full range of motion. Then I went straight into these very light incline dumbbell curls. So here you can see that I'm leaning back, I'm letting my arms drop, and instead of thinking of bringing the dumbbell towards my body, think about bringing it up. 10 reps of the hammer curls, then I went straight into 15 reps of the incline bicep curl. I repeated the superset 3 times. Then I moved into face pulls. These are probably one of my favorite back/rear delt exercise. So I like to do my kneeling. You can do your standing. Kneeling just helps me get a bit more grip. It prevents me from arching my back too much when I'm doing this. You want to start the cable so that it is at the top. You want to really think about bringing your elbows high to your ear. So that's how you're going to target your rear delts. You don't want to drop that shoulder down. For back day, I definitely always do deadlifts. I actually did deadlifts earlier in the week and I went quite heavy for that. So for this day, I wanted to use deadlift as more of, what's the word? Conditioning. Conditioning is the word. So I incorporated deadlift at the very end of my workout as more of a conditioning purpose because obviously deadlift is very tiring. It's a full body exercise. It makes sense to do in the beginning if the purpose of that exercise is for strength. For today, because I already did heavy deadlifts, I added it to the very end as conditioning. So I went a little bit lighter. I think I went like 185 pounds and I did 4 sets of 5 reps. Really just trying to tire out my muscle, tire out my full body to just end with a bang is what I like to say. So a big tip for you guys is that whenever you have an exercise, I want you to ask yourself, what is the purpose of this exercise? Is it more for endurance? Is it more for burnout? Is it more to get a pump? Is it for conditioning? So if it's more for strength, you want to always put it in the very beginning, because you want to have the most amount of energy for an exercise that you want to improve at and use as your strength building exercise. For all the other exercises, if you check my week of workouts, you'll notice my compound lifts are always in the beginning, and then I'll kind of trickle going into dumbbells, cables, and then machines last, because that requires, you know, very little stability. With deadlifts, so I honestly might actually make a separate video on how to perfect your deadlift form. I really think the past 2 years I've worked to perfect my deadlift, and I think I'm pretty much there. I'm very happy with my form. But in the beginning, just make sure you go light and you think about mind to muscle connection, you think about form, because you want to get to a point where you don't need to think about how to do a deadlift. With my clients, I will always go light, get them to do that to the point where they can even just deadlift without thinking. That way when you go heavy, they don't need to think about form. It's already in their body. They just need to really think about pulling the weight up. So that's kind of my tip for you. I always do sumo stance. It's just my preferred method. I've grown up with doing sumo, so you'll rarely see me doing conventional. So with sumo, your legs are wider than your hips and your hands are inside your legs. I'm pulling up at the bar, keeping the bar close to my leg, squeezing my lats back before I pull up. You can see chest up, squeeze, and I'm standing nice and tall, tucking my glutes at the top. I reset after each rep because it just helps me stay tight, it helps me focus better, and also gives me a second just to relax my legs before I go into my next one. And the very last thing is a cool down. With a cool down, what I usually like to do is I will do either foam rolling or static stretching. Today we did static stretching because I didn't have a foam roller. So I just started off and I just do whatever feels good for my body. I don't have a reason behind it. Of course, I will do stretches that target the area that I worked out. But if I'm particularly sore that day from a previous workout, I will also use this time to stretch that muscle out as well. So I started off with just child pose. I hold each stretch for about 20 to 30 seconds. As my body relaxes, I try to go a little bit deeper in the stretch. And then I moved my hands to the right, to the left to just target the lats better. So with cool down, there's no right or wrong way. The biggest important thing is you don't want to walk out of the gym heart rate elevated, like sweating, panting. If that's the case and you don't have time to stretch, then just, you know, walk around the gym, let your heart rate come down, and then you can exit the gym, and you can always stretch at home. Although everyone that says that actually does not end up stretching at home, so I do recommend just giving yourself about 5-10 minutes at the end of your workout to do a quick stretch. So with my stretch here, I really focused on lower back stretches. I want to release the tension in that lower back, especially after deadlifting up for the very last exercise. You do get quite exhausted, so I just did some stretches that felt good for that one. But there's, again, no right or wrong way to do this. Does take me to the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram so you can see a lot more workouts there. Also, I will leave a link down below for if you are interested in getting an online coach or need some support or help or guidance. I will leave that link down below so you guys can go check that out, and we can definitely chat together and just see what you need help with. But other than that, I believe that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Press the subscribe button so you don't miss another video from me. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye!